Cool. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gaming in the Keats. I am your host, Shatay001, and I am here with my good friend Vamps in Maryland, and we are doing a list review of the Pandemic Picnic 3. Say hi, James.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Good to be here.
Nice. Okay, so would you like to talk about what is the Pandemic Picnic and what sort of
Yeah,
system it's using?
yeah. The pandemic picnic started pretty much during the pandemic, as 3 years ago, right? Or yeah, 3 years ago. This is the third one by our good friend Mark with the Green Dragons Gaming Group, Sir MC, and um, yeah, it just started out as I guess we got sick of not playing games of the ninth age. But I think at the time the pandemic restrictions were still that you couldn't really be in a room with many people. So we decided to get playing outside. So this is an outdoor event, and this year is actually going to be the first time we're using the carnage system. So it's going to be no objectives. It's going to be purely based on how many victory points you get. So just how much you
Okay.
kill.
So you don't get penalized for anything you lose, correct?
Nope, nope. You can. It's all about getting as many points as you can.
That's awesome. That's gonna what I love about that is it's just going to bring out a lot of, I think, creativity in people to see like how extra skewed and killy can they make their list. And I think that's good for sparking, hey, who knows, some new combinations with units that
Yeah.
can uh, be brought forth. So yeah, let's get into it. We're scrolling
Awesome.
down here. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, I was just gonna say that it is a different approach. Like it's definitely a different approach, and maybe it'll kind of bring out a little more risk taking than we usually see. Maybe that'll be reflected in the lists, or maybe it'll be reflected in people's gameplay. But
Mhm.
yeah, let's take it away.
Neat. Let's go. I know you're Vamps in Maryland, but I'd like to do this list.
Do it.
All right. So we got our good friend um, Brian Holly. He's bringing out his vampires. Haven't seen him play vampires in quite a long time. And look what he brought. He has a massive zombie dragon who's a master of occultism with rerolls to wound on his halberd. He's got that extended range. Is arcane knowledge still extended range for vampires?
It is.
It
It's
is. So that
yeah.
now the occultism spells are, 18 inches on grave calls goes to 24. So, ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
The strength
Um,
six will still be just 12 because it only extends the strength five.
like so. Okay. Yeah, nice. Um, so and then he's got another vampire on his steed that I'm assuming will go into the Vampire Knights, who's a Brotherhood of the Dragon and Crimson Rage. He's got those two big units of ghouls, so that's going to be fun to try and deal with. He's got his chaff just to throw in front of units, and then he's got some spectral hunters. So I like here he also has an option for a Raven's Wing, which that can be pretty cheeky if need be. He's got some 4 Phantom Hosts, which I haven't seen in a while at least. And then he's got, hey, we have Vampire Knights coming in, which is nice. It's good to see Vampire Knights again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And my favorite, Cheeky Varkalak. I think you and I were talking about this earlier, but one thing that this list might need a bit of help on is the actual healing. However, he can, of course, take Pentagram of Pain as a way of not only dealing damage, but healing his dragon as well. So that's still an option on the table. What do you think about
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I think he's gonna have 5 spells on the dragon. Not that doesn't even include the bound spell you get as the general. So he's gonna have like quite a tasty selection when it comes to magic. He still has an Adept of Evo, so he's got Spectral Blades for the ghouls, and he's got the Conclave on the Spectral Hunters. So also, as well as possible Raven's Wing, that's also a possible Perception of Strength,
Right.
which is
And
also
that,
great.
yeah, that perception of strength, and then you compare that with, pick which one you want to dispel: perception of strength or whispers of the veil or spectral blades, like, oh god. Meanwhile, the dragon's like trying to blow up your other units.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's rough. All
I'm
right.
noticing he did something I didn't do, which is he went over on core.
What?
He went over on core with VC, which I think was not the approach. But at the same time, those 2 massive blocks of ghouls do bring a lot of board control.
Yeah. It's not the approach, you say. Well, let's see. Let's see if Brian shows you a new approach to VC.
Oh god, I hope not.
All right, best of luck, Brian. So we're scrolling down, and we got Chris McDonald, Warriors of the Dark Gods.
Yeah. So double Herald list.
Mm-hmm.
A Chosen Lord, which looks like it's on the cheaper side, but on foot. Yeah, on foot. 1-up rerollable, spiked shield. So this is um, this is the Lord that just bounces hits. Basically like an infantry blender Lord, right? That just kind of has a bunch of attacks with Symbol of Slaughter, and then also bounces hits back with the Dusk Forged. And I think the Symbol of Slaughter means he's +1 to be hit, so he's not that hard to hit, and he's going to be like bouncing back any wounds you do. So that's going to be interesting.
Mm.
And then he's got his warriors with paired weapons, warriors with just looks like basic, but with a bound spell, Icon of the Infinite, and warrior knights, chosen of wrath, and then he's got a Helmor to teleport things around. So quite a
Nice.
mobile list, I'd say.
Yeah, that's pretty. I like the chosen with the chosen great weapons with wrath. I really,
Yeah.
I've certainly have run across them a few times, and have yeah, they've kicked my butt.
The first time I played against a Helmor was when Alex Schmid was just getting back into the Ninth Age, or just kind of discovered the Ninth Age, and he was just looking for some practice games, and he just would teleport that. He just like teleported that 1-up rerollable Chosen Lord like right in front of one of my units, and I couldn't do shit. So, this this list kind of is reminiscent of that for me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you have some PTSD from that. Oh, and by the way, 2 heralds.
Yeah,
Don't
so it's
forget.
good. It's a good list. It's got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that can move around and do damage.
Mhm. All right. So now check this out. We got David, excuse me if I butcher your name, David. I apologize. David Moralia, um, Empire of Sunstall. So we got a prelate on altar of battle. He's got a great griffin. Yes, he's the crown of the Wizard King.
Oh my gosh,
Awesome.
that's a cool cowboy.
um, yeah, I hope that guy does stuff. Um, let's see, he's got a standard BSB and then a Master of Divination. Uh, so yeah, Unerring Strike. Weehaw. He's got his infantry blocks. You got your 2 crossbow units, which is nice. Just the sword and board Imperial Guard, and then 2 smaller units of Sun Griffins. Um, a volley gun, and a steam tank. So it's not the it's I mean, it's like I want to say it's not the shootiest list, but still, you still have the crossbow shots, you still have the volley gun, you still have the cannon on the tank, um,
And div and
and you
divination.
have divination. So yeah, like giving rerolls to hit on that volley gun is nice. Um, and you just have the infantry. Yeah, the infantry aren't really killy. Um, 2 units of 3 Knights of the Sun Griffins with halberds. Oh, that's cool. Normally, yeah. What are your thoughts on this list?
I think it's a solid list, but I just cannot believe how much scoring there is in this. I mean, maybe Empire do well, like with those units helping to get them points, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scoring, and there's like no objectives in this tournament.
Right. So maybe it's like I don't know what like
But it's
I'm
a
trying to think. I'm feeling like flagellants in this tournament would just be great.
yeah, yeah, I hear that. I mean, some of his scoring is shooting, right, and so I think that's probably pretty solid. Like he does have a lot of range damage in this list between divination and the 2 units of light infantry, the riders, the artillery gun, and the steam tank. That's quite a fair amount of range damage. So I do think that is probably going to carry him through at least a couple of games.
But will it be enough?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see.
We'll find out. All right, good luck. On to hey, now it's your turn, James.
All right.
On to Mr. Mintz.
So we have another vampire count on a zombie dragon here. This one is only an apprentice of occultism. We'll have the hereditary because it's Nosferatu. So automatically have hereditary and the breath weapon, the toxic breath weapon. And he's got the bound movement spell on the model as well. He has another vampire count who is kind of like the blender, one up rerollable with Reaper's Harvest, Crimson Rage. So that guy is like really, really killy, and he's got a yeah.
He can't be chaff because he's on a spectral steed.
That's right. Can't be chaffed on a spectral steed. Well, can't be chaffed easily.
Yeah, homeboy flies.
Yeah, he flies. And then he's got a necromancer who has the magical heirloom. So he's essentially gone kind of cheap on the necro here, not taking the master, but taking the 3 spells he needs, which are reroll to wound, whispers, and his hereditary. Does he have race? Yep, race with the champ. Plenty
Oh
of
yeah,
chaff.
double movement.
Yep, double movement. 4 phantom hosts, shrieking horror, vampire knights. So plenty of ways to deal damage with this list.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that wraith unit. That's a problem.
And the phantom hosts got a design change recently with this most recent patch, and I'm hearing quite good things about them at the moment. They're essentially they have a 3-up Aegis instead of a 2-up like the rest of the suffering section. But they're like twice as cheap as they were before per base. So I've been hearing.
Do they have the same sort of damage output though?
No, they've got a little bit more because they have 3 supporting attacks now, where before they just had 1. So you can run them in like a little square, and that's going to be like 14 attacks, which isn't too bad.
Okay. And they're just gonna hold up a unit because those
Yeah,
are those a 4 wound
yeah.
base?
I think they're 4 wounds, so it's instead of having 2 bases for about the same price, which have a 2 up against non-magical, you're having 4 bases with a 3 up against non-magical, and you've got a couple extra supporting attacks. So
Nice.
yeah, I think they're solid.
Cool. All right. All right. So, Executioner of Cain. We got Joey. He's got, oh, check this out. He's got a chosen lord on a dragon. Oh, he gave him a trophy rack with the banner of speed. That's
You went
nice.
for it. You
He's
went for
going for it.
it.
Touch of Greatness on a halberd, Immortal Gauntlets, Obsidian Rock. He's Envy, and he's a Dark Prelate. Let's see. So he's got the Master of Occultism, of course, on a chariot, and I say, of course, just because it's Carnage, and I feel like occultism does that really well. You got another to help out more with the combat buffs. You got the Adept of Alchemy or Evo, Book of Arcane Mastery, and Essence of the Free Mind. So that guy is rocking 3 spells. We got Warriors of Wrath with halberds. You got the Chosen Knights of Envy with speed. Oh yeah, everything has speed. Let's go. Let's do
Yeah,
some speed.
he's going.
And Chimera of Wings, just to be annoying.
I'm foreseeing a lot of charge phases in which Joey says, "Charge, charge, charge, charge."
Basically, all my units are charging.
Yeah, and I think that's his plan.
Yeah, just charge.
He's got
Well,
all.
that's what we came here to see.
We did. We
We
did.
want carnage.
That's what. That's what the price of admission is for.
Nice. That's cool. I want to see this. I'm like rooting for all of these, like the Great Griffin and the Dragon, the Wasteland Dragon characters. I'm rooting for them to do
People
well.
bringing out the monsters.
Yeah, and it's going to bring out some cool models, I hope, as well.
Yes, I think that's definitely going to be a plus here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that dragon model that you know needs some love, and
Yeah,
an
it's
event
been
like
sitting
this
on your
comes up.
shelf for so long because it's just been like, nope, cannons.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is a good event for bringing out some different models, I think.
Yeah. So speaking of bringing out the grossness,
Yeah.
here we are.
Just bring out something we've all seen before.
Yep.
You can do that.
We got Phil rocking the Sylvan trees. Although he did put some elves in here as well. He's got some Heath Riders.
Right.
But yeah, most of us in the Mid-Atlantic and probably abroad too, if you've played them enough online, know this list. And yeah, it punches you in the face. And then, puts roots into your brain. It's like, I'm here now.
It's a good list. It's a good list. It's a proven list. And Phil's a good player. I think there might be one or two lists out here that counter this list pretty well, but again, you've still got to get around the fact of just how competent Phil is with this list.
Yeah, right. Just because I've learned this the hard way. Just because I have the matchup advantage doesn't mean I'm going to do well against Phil Carr.
Right.
So
he's perfected playing with this list.
Oh yeah. So that's yep. It's good to see it again though, because he's been rocking Empire for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that because I'm all the way across the globe. Y'all have to deal with it.
Yeah, we have to deal with it. I think he was kind of giving some coaching on this list recently. Like a team tournament we had, one of his teammates played this list, and he was kind of involved in that, and I think it probably made him miss playing the list.
Ah. Well, there you have it. Cool. That avatar of nature. That guy's just gonna be a pain. So anyway, let's go. And we got our good friend, our clubmate,
Yes,
Mike.
Mike. What up, Mike?
So, he's running demons. I've played Mike's demons once. Mike, I have a question for you. If you're watching this, did you paint them? Have you painted your army, or at least have the 3 colors on them? I'm
Well,
just throwing you. Mike. I'm just throwing you a little bit of cheese. But cool, that's cool that you're rocking demons. Yeah, James, do you want to talk about it?
no, I'm gonna let you talk about it. I'm just gonna say that I saw them 9 days ago, and there was still I think he had the gray hide upgrade on all of them.
The gray hide upgrade, yeah,
Yes.
that's one of those upgrades that you hope not to see across the table because of its psychological impact on you.
For sure, for sure.
But anyway,
tell us about the list, man. Tell us about the list.
yeah, but I digress. So he's got a Mauve Khan, which is cool. Master of Evo and Digestive Vomit. Brimstone, of course, because he wants to keep that guy alive from some div, which makes sense. Same with the Scourge. He has the Scourge on Thaumaturgy, which I think is an interesting choice. So he's got the 20 for Myrmidons with Piercing Spikes. So that's pretty, they hit hard. 2, Spears of Infinity units with the Imps. We've got Brazen Beasts, which we know when they charge, they wreck things pretty well. Ooh, this is cool. He's got a Flying Blazing Glory. I like that. We've also got a Hope Harvester in there, which is, adds in that extra bit of shooting range damage. And then we got the 2 units of 6 Hellhounds with Digestive Vomit, which is pretty cool in my opinion, because I feel like they become his anti-chaff in a way. And then once they deal with the chaff, they just become more and more of a pain to deal with. And you still have the synergy with evocation on. I mean, they basically have like that built-in spectral blades anyway.
I think they got rid of that rule and they just have lethal strike now. Pretty sure.
Oh, well, there you have it. So so then all you need to do is just do the 2 dice on spectral blades and then 2 dice whispers and then, but then so for me, this is just my personal taste, but I've been running the Scourge with Evo just so I can get ancestral aid on him, and just to ensure that the Scourge can just go off and be a Scourge and make sure it hits the things that it needs to hit, because it no longer gets past parry. It used to, but now it doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But what I'm also kind of missing here, I totally understand why Mike didn't do this. I get it. But on the Maw, it's like it almost just doesn't internally feel right to not see it with Iron Husk, because it's like the big fat gluttony demon, and you kind of want that demon to be resilience 6, but I can also understand his reasoning, because he's just like, well, the demon has 9 health points anyway, and then I can get him above his health point pool when he's in combat. So what's it matter if he's resilient 6?
Yeah.
I get it.
You might be worried about getting too fat and blowing up.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's the other issue. I'd like to see that guy blow up and take out a unit.
Yeah, that would be great. Mike, if you could do that, that should bring you I don't know. It would bring me joy, but hopefully that could that's my goal for you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Just have the Mahavicon take out a key unit just by blowing up,
Yeah.
causing a whole bunch of different panic checks or something.
Think about it. You don't lose the game if he blows up.
Yeah.
It's all about the points you get.
So nice, Mike. Best of luck. Now we're moving on to Ryan Stottle.
Yeah. So, Infernal Dwarves. Mind if I take this one?
Please do, because
Okay.
I have not done my homework. As much as I love watching Math CD's YouTube videos, I have not done my homework on Infernal Doors.
Yeah. It's not too much different than the list I played, um, or the list he had when I played against him at Brawler Bash. The Overlord build is a little different, but essentially still does the same thing. Still really scary, and kind of yeah, can just kind of beat things up. Um,
Is this the small bull though?
yeah, this is the small bull, but he has
Okay.
like a 1-up, 5-up, something like that. Yeah, because the small bull gives you a point of armor. He's got the shield, plate, and basalt. So I think he ends up at a 1-up, and the bulls, the big one and the little one, have a 5-up Aegis. So
Just innately. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So it's pretty solid. He's got a Kadem Titan, right, that can just walk up and shoot you, and it's pretty good in combat too. An Infernal Engine, is that the tank?
Yeah.
So that's something different. So he's got the tank with a rocket battery. So he's got a mortar and a rocket battery. So maybe expecting to see more single models than usual at this tournament is what I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then he split the Anointed up into 2 units of 3. He's still got a bunch of shooting, um, flintlock axes, a bunch of those. He's got lots of ways of making you flammable. Yeah, because he can do it with the levies, and he can do it with the vassal cavalry. I'm not
Mm.
sure if the levies do that in combat as well. Do the incendiary give out the incendiary tokens in combat, but they might. They might. Yeah, I mean this is a good list, and the magic setup really supports it. Really supports getting that reroll to wound off a lot.
Mm-hmm. I also just love that there's a dragon staff in here.
Yeah, who's he snuck that on? Oh, the prophet, the alchemy prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see how much he uses that. He might try to sneak it. Man, the dragon staff is like a stealth pick. It's a stealth pick because like if you play something like a monster that doesn't have an armor save and like you almost kill it and then you just pop the dragon staff for that last wound.
Yeah, that's
It's like it's like stealth good. But yeah, good list. Wouldn't expect anything less from Ryan.
nice. All right. Best of luck, Ryan. Going down to yes. Daniel Rubert, another Demon Legions. I know you and I have had a discussion about this one beforehand as well, but at first glance, you're looking at those medium to small sized units and you're thinking like, oh, those seem manageable. But
I can
then
take
when you,
this.
yeah, yeah, you can take this, right? But then when you start to actually think about some of the synergies that are applied here, then you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, pretty.
This is I think this is I think this would be a deceptively potent list. um, so we got the Sentinel on Evo, which I don't think you normally see that often, but then once you start looking at everything else, it just kind of makes sense. We have the Kalima's Deceiver, my favorite demon character. Um, I love this unit so much. Uh, so we have the Deceiver in there. He's my guess is that the Deceiver goes into the Succubi with Chilling Yawn, and then we have an Adept of Divination as well. Oh, also with Guarding Piercing Spike. So both those Succubi units are are AP2. Awesome. I'm a fan. We got a reroll. We have the green fire eyes to reroll that one for those charges in case it comes up. The Lemures are, of course, the Sentinel's bunker. So then we have Brazen Beasts, only 3 of them, but they're still potent. Then we have this 12 unit of Hellhounds with Digestive Vomit, and I think that's this unit in here is like the sleeper unit, in my opinion, in this list. Like I bet that unit will do if it's not dealt with, it will do surprisingly well with the evocation combos there.
That's not a chaff unit.
No.
No.
Then we got, some range damage with Iolodons and Hope Harvester again. They both have accurate, which is nice. We got a Titan Slayer Chariot, which is, I'm liking the redesign of the Chariot. It's just a bit more streamlined, right? Because now it just has maximized charge range against things with towering.
Yeah.
It just makes it simpler, in my opinion. And he put a standard bearer on there. He's just like, he's waving that big banner in whatever monster's face and saying, like, you lose combat if you're not dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have 4 blowflies, which is with unhinging jaw. So it's like so he can kind of secure both of his flanks, in my opinion, from those monsters that might be coming around that could pick on the Succubi unit. The only issue, and this is just, again, a personal thing, the only issue I have is that the Deceiver isn't guiding Venom Sacs. He doesn't have the 5-up poison, and he doesn't give the Succubi poison. And the Succubi don't have bronze backbone, because if you have div, it's like, okay, well, I can, you can still throw out Know Thy Enemy anyway. Because your opponent's probably going to be stopping Spectral Blades. And then who needs Spectral Blades when you are re-rolling to hit and have poison attacks? And,
Yeah, wow.
And then your Deceiver's wounding you on poisons you on 5s. I just love that model. So, but I think this list is deceptively potent with all of
I think
its.
it's a good list. I do think it's a good
synergies.
list. And yeah, I think it might. I think we're seeing quite a few lists where it might just come down to like who gets the charge, and this list could be a little bit like that, but he's certainly he's got pretty good range threat. So
yeah, with both the Harvester and Iolodons being accurate, and then Iolodons are, of course, are just like screw your knights,
Right. But even for like charge ranges, he's got pretty good. I mean, demons as an army have pretty good charge threat range, don't they? Because the whole army has Swift Stride.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's a great cool. Best of luck, Daniel.
Sir MC, the TO. This is the ringer list.
The ringer list.
Friars Lansons, don't understand what they do.
Oh my god.
Read it again.
Yo, that unit, there's that video from Proxy Table Gaming that has the opponent is playing someone with a Friar's Lantern, and it's just like, this thing can't be charged.
Right. It has to flee, doesn't it?
No, I don't. I'm not quite sure how it works, to be honest.
Can't be charged.
Yeah, it just can't be charged. Like,
if you play Mark, ask what it does. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm pretty sure it can't be charged. Like this is I'm just going off on a whim. I could be totally just messing up everyone's game plan right now.
No, I think it's something more like it has to flee.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what it does, but
Okay.
I bet you that's going to be the unit that wins Mark his
Yeah.
games.
And naiads, I don't really know. I think they have like a low strength, high AP grind attack. I think that's what they do.
Hmm.
Um, he's got some lowborn levies and archers, some men at arms. So he's got quite a few foot units for a KOE list with
Mm.
the reliquary. 5 knights penitent, 14 feudal knights, which I bet get loaded up with these characters. Yeah, yeah, that seems right.
That seems right.
Damsel on he's got one damsel on foot, one on a unicorn.
Oh, cool. He took shamanism and div with the Book of Arcane Mastery.
Is that a lord on foot with Willow's ward? Oh wow! So he's running a couple foot characters and a couple mounted characters. So different KOE list, maybe friendlier than a list Mark would take if he wasn't the TO and ringer. Maybe more of a friendly list.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Mark. Thanks for running this tournament. We're gonna show up and have a good time. So
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I like the 25-minute arms with the Sacred Reliquary in there that has the Oriflamme. That's
yeah, that like me might be like the one dick unit. You know, but
cool.
yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mark.
Field Breaker's nice too, though, on the Paladin. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, thanks, Mark. And let's go. Moving on. Oh boy. Okay. Slender Ben, Warriors of the Dark God. Wizard Master of Alchemy on a battle shrine, who's gone into Warriors of Sloth. Okay. And then he just, and so now he's just doing 3 Feldrax with great weapons. Yeah. Some Barbarian Horsemen, and then, we got a big unit of Feldrax with paired weapons. Okay. Yeah, so the So the Feldrax are going to be, the Feldrak Ancestors and the Elders are his, the single models that go around and just, are
Yeah, yeah.
know?
He's got a bunch of Feldrax.
I'm a bit concerned, just a little bit. I'm a little bit concerned about that unit of 6 Feldrax, just because they don't have the Banner of Discipline.
Oh, right. Under what circumstances can they panic? Because certain units they treat as insignificant, don't they?
It's true. But if they just if you just say if you damage it with ranged and shooting, it'll have to make
can panic. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they can still panic normally.
Because they don't have the reroll that warriors have, or maybe
no,
they don't.
I don't think so.
Okay,
that's my understanding. Like because the warrior units have to take, or they have that built in. They have that reroll, correct?
Yeah, the warrior units have that. I think it's a Hellforged armor thing. I'm gonna check it out right now, actually, if that's all right.
Yeah, why don't you? Yeah, okay. It's interesting. I see the great weapon of cleansing light. I'm just being a bit nitpicky right now. It's like, I think you normally see this build with the ancestor with paired weapons and supernatural dexterity, but I think
You know what though?
it
The
doesn't.
paired weapons is so expensive on it.
Oh, because it's so popular at this rate.
Yeah, so the great weapon is like 10 points, and the paired weapons are, let's see, the paired weapons are 90 points.
Oh,
So that's why he's done that. And
makes
you know,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, with the great weapon, he's got all the AP and he's flaming and divine. So it's probably not a bad choice.
Yeah. And that guy has base 6 attacks. I'm just going off the top of my head. I don't have the book in front of me.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the book right now. Yeah, fair, scoring, tall, unburnt. Wonder what unburnt says. Does unburnt have something that gives them a
Unburnt means
dismember?
they're not. Well, I know they're not affected by flaming. They're immune to flame, or was it the effects of flaming? Or oh gosh, I forgot what that rule was. Oops.
Yeah, successful to wound rolls of attacks that are flaming must be rerolled. In addition, the model considers all units consisting of models without unburnt as insignificant. So these Feldrak units can like panic each other,
Ooh.
but they can't be panicked by like warriors dying.
Okay. So that's good. That's something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a lot of health points in that 6 Feldrak unit with a lot of attacks. So like, he's still gonna kill stuff.
Yeah, I mean, listen. He's got a bunch of Feldraks and a Master of Alchemy, so he's here to get points with those units,
right.
And the Sloth Warriors possibly as well. I'm gonna. Here's my small criticism, and it's not necessarily for Ben, but it's actually can be applied across many lists that I've been seeing so far. Is that there's like some small scoring units that like there's no point for this particular event, or at least I'm not seeing the point for this particular event. Like the 8 barbarian horsemen in this list, like that could have been a chaff unit or like a unit of fallen, something that doesn't have to be scoring, but like does something else. Like if that's a chaff unit, then maybe you don't have to take your chaff out of your non-core.
Right.
That's just my kind of take, and that's kind of a theme that I think I'm seeing across lists.
It's like I'm tempted with these Warriors of the Dark Gods to say like, well, if you losing points isn't a thing, like I'm feeling like, say, Wretched Ones, like
Wretched Ones would have been cool for this event for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, like this is a solid list. Like let's not take away from that. This is a
no,
really
of course
solid
not.
list.
Yeah, those Feldrak Elders and the Ancestor are going to be a problem. Those 6 Feldraks are going to be a problem. Like people are going to have a hard time dealing with that Sloth unit,
Yep.
So, yeah. Nicely done, Ben. So moving on to another clubmate, Brandon, Square Wave.
What up, Brandon?
And we got some Vermin Swarm evilness.
Evil VS.
Evil VS. Yeah.
Maxed out on shooting.
He maxed out on shooting.
Lots of rotary guns and 2 mouse rifles. And then he's still got the combat punch of the black fur with like all the assassins possibly popping up in that unit or possibly popping up somewhere else. But
right, because I guess the idea is where you just he has all those bodies where with the spears, for example, where it's just like he can still shoot you in combat, correct?
Can still shoot you in combat. He can still throw down comets with his thaumaturgy guy. So yeah.
Does he have the Doomblade in here?
No. He's got the Storm Rocket, which is another shooting attack. He's got the 3 witchcraft spells if he wants. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah, he's got
That's yeah.
the alchemist that gives the black for lightning reflexes.
Yep. I was just curious. Like I've actually never have played against Vermintide. I've had the, which I will, I've had the luck to say that up until now, but I do know that there's someone in the Berlin Liga who is playing Vermintide, so I'm going to have to do my homework on them for sure. But do Black Fur veterans have 1 or 2 attacks?
They have 1 attack, but they have, I think they have like a fight an extra rank built in. So it's like
Okay.
they probably, it's like, I think their output is pretty high.
Hmm.
That's almost like your front rank having an extra attack, right? If you get a fight an extra rank, I think when they're in line formation or when they're steadfast or something, they get another fight an extra rank.
Okay. Rock on. Well, best of luck, Brandon.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And hey, who's this person?
Hey, man, I know that list. I
I
know
know
that
it
list.
too. I'd be happy to. Let's see. I'd be happy to talk about it if you want to, grade me on how well I get it right.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
All right. Well, you got the zombie dragon, and the what seems to be the obligatory zombie dragon.
Uh oh.
Um,
No nerfs. No nerfs.
no nerfs. Yeah. You have an adept of Evo. Hey, check that out. You got a cursed medallion on here, which is fun.
Yep.
So that means you get to pick a model in your opponent's army and then get to reroll wounds against it, correct?
Hit and wounds.
Hit and wounds. Oh no. Um, and so you got 1, 2, 3. You have 3 flyers.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the Revenant. I like the shamanism build here. So you got the Monstrous Revenant Courtier, who's Brotherhood of the Dragon, and he's oh yes, you have a dragon staff in there too. You cheeky devil.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 2 flying characters. The one that is able to challenge out, the dragon can challenge out other characters essentially
Mm-hmm.
and kill them. So that makes sense for this tournament. You do have the Unholy Tome on your Necromancer, so you have double movement spell with the Wraiths.
Yep.
That's mean. You have 2 Banshees in here, so that helps. Yeah, that just deals more damage to those big infantry blocks. You have ghouls. You still have your MVP 20 skeletons with Relentless Banner in there. So I'm
Oh
assuming
yeah.
at this rate, all you're doing is just marching at 15 and putting it in front of, you have chaff.
Yeah. It's another chaff unit, and it's a place for the necromancer to hang out, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just there's not too many kind of great units for this format in the VC core section. In other
Mhm.
sections, yes.
So speaking of which, we see a ghoul giant, which is pretty cool. You chose the ghoul giant over the barrow giant, and if I'm understanding, you chose it because you wanted that rerolls, that innate rerolls to hit the unholy appetite in the second round of combat. If I'm not correct.
Yeah, that's right. Like I don't want to feel like I have to take ancestral aid. Like I still maybe, I'm not ruling out taking it, but I'm liking having units with built-in rerolls to hit.
Mm-hmm. And then to round everything out, you have your Shrieking Order and that cheeky Varkalak. So the single model's there to cause people problems as well. Um, yeah, I'm curious to see how everything does. I mean, those wraiths again going to be a problem for people. The dragon, yeah, that's an issue. The shrieking horror, of course, and the Varkalak. I want to see how your corpse giant does because does it have poison attacks?
Yeah, it has poison. Has poison.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then 2 banshees. So your banshees go. Oh my goodness, yeah. The 2 banshees with those wraiths.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty mobile list that hopefully will be able to move around and do some damage. I would say I'm not sure. Like I think there's definitely some lists that have a good matchup against me, but I feel like I understood the assignment, you know, for this particular event. So I'm okay with my list.
Okay, you're okay with it.
Yep, I'm
Nice.
okay. Might even be happy with it. But yeah, having
Well,
having said that, I do think there's some lists here that give me some problems.
yeah. I would agree with that. Like anything with like a master of divination, I think kind
Yeah,
of gives you
Chris,
problems.
quiet. You don't have to say
Oh, excuse me. Oopsies. We can
that.
edit this video, right? It's a
You're
live.
fine, but just no more.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Anyway, moving
That's it.
on.
There's nothing that counters that list at all. Don't
No.
try. No, I'm kidding.
Um, hey, we got another clubmate.
Yeah, this is Chris. He is brand new to the ninth age, and so happy to have him in the Titans of Ninth gaming group. Such a
Awesome.
nice guy.
Well, I'm just seeing a lot of power shrooms, so automatically I think this list should win
Yeah,
the tournament. Power
yeah,
shrooms, just psilocybin all the way.
yeah, yeah. This
Um,
magic phase can be pretty potent. I think. What do you
yeah.
think?
So he took binding scrolls in here too. So I guess he wants his goblins to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess it helps the gargantula and
Oh, for sure.
certain lists it can mess up. Like it did. I did actually play a practice game against Chris this last weekend, and the binding scrolls messed me up bad.
Uh,
Got
well, yeah,
because I
because it's just like,
yeah
no, don't you dare use your raven's wing on your wraiths.
right exactly. That's exactly what he did, and I got lucky. But anyway,
Oh, I love that there's let's see, 3, 6, 7, 7 mad gits
hmm
and 2 wrecking teams.
yeah, yeah.
That hell I'm just hell yeah.
Yeah, those weapon teams are such good value, aren't they? Because if they do nothing, it's only 130 points, but they can like really ruin someone's day.
Yeah. I'm so Nasher Dasher. Do they still fly Nasher Dashers?
Yeah, they fly. They've got pretty decent agility on the charge, so that's a nice unit for this format.
6 cave trolls. So yeah, this is a. Oh yeah, this is we don't see any orcs in this list,
Nope, no orcs.
and he has just really cheap characters all around. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this list wants to, you know, get close and then just throw a bunch of mad gits at you. And hopefully, like whatever the mad gits don't kill, like the trolls and the gargantula can like clean it up.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea with this.
Mm. I think my only okay. So this I'm having nostalgia back to a player who used to play in the Mid Atlantic. I had the pleasure to play him a few times and play against him a few times. Um, his name was Nate, and I remember he brought some really skewed orcs and goblin lists that were basically just all Nashers.
Yeah, the Nasher Wall, Nate's
The
Nasher
Nasher
Wall.
wall.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, I want to see that in this tournament.
yeah, Nate. Honestly, man, Nate is like the perfect player for this tournament. Nate, where are you, man? I think you're on the West Coast, but yeah,
Nashers. So Chris, if you're listening, Nashers, just big, just max out units of Nashers if you can get the models, and I think you're going to be solid. I mean, in all fairness, I'm hoping those Mad Gets go to town, and yeah, I'm wishing you all the best for representing Titans of Ninth Club
good luck, Chris. Looking forward to hanging out with you this next weekend.
and finishing it off. Take it away, James.
Simon's Infernal Dwarves, and yeah, Simon, super nice guy and important to the East Coast community because he does some organizing and he's very active with the
Mm-hmm.
game. Also, super nice guy. But his list isn't nice at all. This list is bad. It's very. This is a very bad list,
It's
and by
bad
that
in
I
a
mean,
good.
yeah, by that I mean it's good. Like I'm wagging my finger. Like this is evil. He's got a bull
Perfect.
very similar to Ryan Stortle's build. Might be exactly the same, but it's maybe it has one of the weapons on the Overlord might be different, but good build. Profit on alchemy with the heirloom, Lamasu Scholar. So he's got quite an effective magic phase. Yeah, he doesn't need loads of spells. He just needs spells that kind of dish out reroll to wound. Easy ways to get
Mhm.
reroll to wound, which he can do with alchemy, and he can do that with the spell selection of the Lamasu as well. So looking good. He's got shooting in core, which seems like a good use of core points for this event.
Mhm.
Um, and shooting in kind of I forget what the section of the book's called, but he's got a Titan Mortar and a Nafta Thrower. And a few really, I know this isn't Orcs and Goblins, but he's got a few big and nasty units as well. The Kadim Titan, the Infernal Engine with the Nafta Thrower, and a Kadim Chariot. So yeah, honestly, like I would give this list an A. I think it's kind of gross.
what
Think
is what is like what would you say is particularly gross about this list?
the Overlord, all of the shooting, the Kadim Titan with the Walking Earthquake. Um, I don't know, like what isn't what isn't what isn't gross about it. I
Okay,
guess
so it's like you gotta watch it. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think he's got two fixed artillery pieces that have the double range, but they're kind of static, fixed in place. So I don't know whether that will be. I mean, they're scary. They're definitely scary pieces. Yeah, I don't know. Like he's got the Overlord, the Kadim Titan, and the Infernal Engine, and the
That's all
Kadim
you need,
Chariot.
right?
Yeah, so he's got the mobile zoning pieces. So
Mhm.
probably those static artillery pieces are probably fine, and they're just going to be kind of shooting all day.
Just a quick question. I like doing these list reviews because my knowledge of the books is, I would say, rather limited. Um, but it's also a great learning experience for playing again or for just learning about new units, new rules, new things in general, and it's just fun to talk about. But just curious, what does the golden idol of Shamut do?
That gives him Glory of Gold and a bound spell.
Oh.
So so yeah, he can do double Glory of Gold, and of course that
Yeah.
is something he can put on his shooting if he wants. And he's got the vassals to kind of spread the incendiary tokens.
Hmm.
I think the hereditary might put an incendiary token on units as well. So he's got ways of dishing out the reroll to wound for shooting and combat.
How would you say your list fares against this list, or do you want to say?
Yeah, like I don't love the Infernal Dwarf matchup for me,
Yeah.
but having said that, um, I think there are ways of kind of dealing with it. I don't want to give too much away, but essentially I don't think it's a bad matchup for me. There's no doubt, but there's ways of playing that make it slightly better or absolutely terrible. So
Okay. We'll leave it at
yeah,
that.
yeah,
We'll keep it ambiguous for now.
yeah. Like I think I can get some points against this kind of list if I, depending on how I play.
Okay. So that brings us to the end of the list review part. Now, my question to you, James, is what list do you think brings the most carnage to
Oh,
Pandemic?
the most carnage.
The most carnage.
I mean, I'm gonna do the same thing as last time. It's like the last list we end on.
Yeah.
Uh, no, this one is really nice. Can we scroll up just a sec? I should have
Yeah.
made my choice beforehand. Oh, this
Yours
Chris
doesn't
Minchin's
count.
list. Yeah, mine doesn't count. Yeah, I think Chris Mince's list. I could go with a VC.
Sticking with the VC.
Yeah, Phil's always good at bringing carnage to the. He just brings carnage. It's not about the list. It's about him, isn't it?
It's about him. Yeah. He just is carnage.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a tie, a three-way tie between Chris Mince's VC list and the two Infernal Dwarf lists.
The two Infernal Dwarf lists. Okay. Wow. All right. Hmm. What do you think? What do you think would be your sleeper unit that in like a unit that people that's going to just surprise people completely and how well it does in this type of event?
Hmm. Might be. Let's go to that demon list real quick because that had. I feel like that
That's
had.
Mike's. Do you mean the other one?
Yep, yep. Um, maybe something in this list, like the 12 hellhounds.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking they're just dogs, right? It just looks like a chaff unit. Um, the Titan Slayer Chariot is also a nice pick. Does Mike have one of those as well?
No, he doesn't.
No. Okay.
Although he has the 2 units of 6 hellhounds. That's effectively 12 hellhounds.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm gonna go with for that is hellhounds.
Hellhounds. Okay.
Hellhounds. They're gonna be surprisingly. They're an interesting unit, I think. So we'll go with that.
Okay. I think well, I mean, I'm looking at, Phil's list. um I don't know if this is necessarily a unit that will surprise people, but if people aren't if people aren't careful, then this unit will really cause issues, and it's going to be the 9 wraiths with the champion.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Chris Mintz has that too, by the way.
he
So
does, yeah. So 2 lists have that, and both lists have the Unholy Tome, which is what makes it so much more potent. with the double movement
Yeah.
shenanigans, and then of course you had to put in 2 banshees.
The three displayed assassins as well.
Oh yeah,
That's always kind of gross. Um, Three
3 just
displayed assassins, or you know, three mad gits shooting out of a unit.
the the wrecking teams. Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm thinking. I mean, and then you have don't forget like 3 Feldrek big monsters running around with great weapons. That
yeah. There's a lot of picks. I think we're being pretty indecisive, but
we
I
are.
think there's a lot of
But
good
hey,
picks
that's a
for that
good thing, right?
question.
Because
Yeah,
it means people brought out their big guns.
the
Um,
Overlord on the Bull.
yeah.
If you're not, if you haven't played against it before, and you play against it for the first time this tournament, you might be surprised how good it is.
Does he do D3 wounds?
Yeah, when he uses the Onyx core, he's got D3 against flammable. Guess what?
Ah!
Whatever he's fighting is going to be flammable.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. That's awesome.
And he has hatred because he's like
Oh,
a
by the way,
dwarf lord, right? Dwarf lords have hatred. So
he has hatred.
yeah, yeah.
It's awesome. Well, that being said, that concludes our list review. James, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yeah, thanks
This
for
was a bit of a last minute thing we pulled together, but no, I really appreciate you taking the time to just run through the list with me, and I'm excited to see what happens on the other side once all the blood and carnage has settled.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll come back hopefully with a report on the carnage. But thank you for having me on this evening.
Cool. All right, everyone, we are signing off for now. Thank you so much for watching, and catch you in the next one. Ciao, ciao for now.